Tyler woke up and looked at his pocket watch, just before he realized that Charlie wasn't in the tent. He decided to look for him, so he picked up his lantern and left the tent, finding himself completely alone in the middle of the woods, surrounded by a thick layer of fog, a layer he had to cross to find his beloved friend. He knew where Charlie could be, a place they used to call the Bubble, a beautiful and peaceful place that was hidden from everything, from the chaos of reality. He started walking in the Bubble's direction, and after some minutes, he found Charlie. He was able to see his silhouette in the distance. That sure was the most beautiful place on earth at the time. Charlie hadn't noticed Tyler's presence until he was just a couple of meters away. But instead of looking at him, he asked, "What are you doing here?" "I should ask the same thing to you," Tyler replied. I just I just couldn't sleep," Charlie answered. "I thought you were exhausted." "I am exhausted, but my thoughts won over tiredness." Tyler looked at Charlie, noticing the tiredness in his eyes and the worry in his look. Charlie was feeling completely desperate and scared. But instead of being honest, he was trying to hide those feelings from Tyler. After all, he didn't want to make things worse for both of them. "Come on, Charlie, what's wrong?" asked Tyler while sitting next to Charlie. "Tyler, tell me, what are we doing?" "We are surviving." "For what?" We we just don't know yet." Silence fell between them for a few minutes while they contemplated the view. "That's it. That's the problem. We are fighting and we are surviving for nothing. We have killed, we have suffered, and we have been running away from all this awful disaster for nothing. I'm so sick of this." They remained quiet. Of course, Tyler was able to get the message behind Charlie's words. Why didn't they end up with their suffering once and for all? A bullet or maybe a blade would do the job. Some blood would be spilled, but it was a great price for getting out of that nightmare. However, Tyler didn't agree with a part of that plan. He didn't want to finish it all after fighting for so long. They may have been fighting for nothing, but that didn't mean it would be like that forever. Maybe there would be a reason in the future. And Tyler wanted to be alive to fight for that reason, and he wasn't willing to abandon Charlie in the process. "Come on, Charlie, look at me." Charlie's blue eyes encountered Tyler's yellowish look. "I get you. I really do. Sometimes it feels like I'm going insane. And my body, man, it hurts so much. But, I really don't want just to finish it all like this. I want it to finish by itself." Charlie kept looking into Tyler's eyes, and he was able to notice that he was terrified. His friend was completely terrified. But that wasn't the only thing he could perceive on his look. He also noticed a sparkle of hope, something he had lost a lot of time ago. Suddenly, guilt invaded Charlie. Tyler was pretending to be strong to motivate and encourage him to keep going with the battle and to not abandon him. And tears covered Charlie's face. "Man, I'm such a terrible friend," he said. Tyler strongly hugged his friend, and Charlie closed his eyes and hugged Tyler back. "Yeah, maybe a little," said Tyler with a sassy smile on his face, while hearing a little laugh coming from Charlie. "And what if it never ends?" asked Charlie after a few minutes of silence. "Then at least we will be able to say that we tried," said Tyler while they contemplated the sunrise.